Hey guys, we're going to start as we usually do with some opening comments from Coach, and then we'll go to questions on Zoom. Take it away, Coach.
Yeah, obviously a tough game and a disappointing game today. Give Minnesota credit. They took it to us early and they were outstanding offensively. Uh, we gave up, they created a lot of layups and, every time we would try to make a comeback, all of a sudden we would have another defensive breakdown based on great execution on their part. So I give them a lot of credit. They took it to us today. So, we got to look at what we can get better at and be ready for Portland in 2 days.
Go ahead, Wilton.
Coach, obviously you guys cut the deficit to 10 on that 6-0 run. It was 81-71, but then obviously Minnesota goes on their run in the last 4:53. When you look at that standpoint, obviously a lot of elite scoring from Minnesota in that moment, but like what were some of the things that you guys just couldn't come up with in terms of like limiting them, specifically Courtney Williams and Natasha Howard?
Yeah, well, Natasha Howard's so good at setting ball screens and then exiting behind, and she has really good exit velocity. And we were getting lost on the ball screens a little bit and creating pockets and ability to, little seams for them to get behind us. And I just thought they executed their ball screen stuff outstanding, and we're gonna have to clean up some things defensively. But this will be a good teaching moment for us. We got down, we got back in the game, then we got down again, and then when we made the run to 10, I thought we had another chance, but then uh, give them credit. They executed their offense and stretched the lead back out, and that's when we decided to pull the starters. We got another game in 2 days, and I thought the people that came in at the end of the game, they competed and did really well.
Absolutely. One quick follow-up, and you kind of alluded to it having another game, but specifically, obviously, everyone knows that Atlanta is no stranger to being one of the top teams in the league. Obviously, you have to have a bounce back game, but what does it say like having a loss like this? Obviously, you never want to lose a game, but having a loss like this could really like maybe change the tone of where you guys want to go going forward.
Well, I think whether you win or lose, it should be a learning experience. Like there's always things that you did well, and then things that you could do better. Uh, Today a lot of it is we're going to look at, our movement on offense at the beginning of the game was not great, especially in the first quarter. And then, uh, I thought that got better as the game went on. But defensively, we just really struggled to stay in front of the ball and not let their rollers get behind us. So we're gonna have to look at that and make some corrections. And Minnesota's a really good team, and uh, they were just a lot better than we were today. So the only thing to do is get better.
We'll jump to Emmanuel. For the people on the Zoom, if you have a question, raise your hand.
Hey, Coach. You talked about the pick and roll action that Minnesota was doing today. Was it more of an execution on their side of, as far as how they were rolling it, or was it just some defensive breakdowns on your end that led to some of those points in the paint like that?
Yeah, well, I think when you gave up as many points as the paint as we did today, it has to be both. Like their execution was outstanding, but even when the other team has good execution, we need to get some stops. And uh, you know, I have some thoughts about it, but I want to watch the tape just to make sure that uh, we can really pinpoint it and work on it and get better at it. Our ball screen defense has been. We struggled the first game of the year, and then it got a lot better. And then uh, we had been doing obviously a good job defensively all season until really this game is the one that's really given us the most trouble.
My last question, Coach, is Minnesota had 10 steals on the night. Was it just ball handling, just issues with that, or what are your thoughts on the steals that they were able to get tonight?
Yeah, we're turning. That's another thing is we're just turning the ball over too much. Usually it's uh, sometimes we turn down the first open look and then we try to do something more difficult and kind of dribble in tight spaces, and that leaves some tough passing windows or gives them a chance to steal the ball. So that's definitely something that we're gonna have to clean up going forward. We just have been losing too many possessions to turnovers. So, we'll address it. Hopefully, we'll see some improvement going forward with that.
Let's go to Ernest. Go ahead.
Head coach, it Naz Hillmon, she gave you a tough, a good performance, a strong energy off the board on both ends of the floor. What did you like most about her performance tonight?
Well, I thought she did a really good job. She had good energy. She was looking to shoot. She got a couple post ups when they switched into mismatches. She got behind the defense on rolls a couple times. So it was good to see her get into the swing of things. I thought she, played a good game, particularly on the offensive side.
And then finally, coach, what was your message to the team after the game?
Just that we have to get better. Like this wasn't uh, a great performance by us. Like Minnesota's a great team, and they played at a really high level today. Uh, but we want to be one of the best teams in the league. So we're gonna have to play better than we did today. And fortunately, we got a game in 2 days. Hopefully, we can learn from this one, get prepared for the next one, and have a better performance.
Go ahead, Jamila.
Hey, Coach. That's back-to-back games where Angel was adamant that she did not commit a foul, and you guys went with the challenge. Just how difficult is that to choose when to challenge a call and when to not?
Well, it's tough because I mean, at that point, we got back in the game in the first half, and if you lose the challenge, you don't have it for the rest of the game. So you, uh, you trust your player, but it also has to be, conclusive on video. So you want to make sure that on video, it's something that the officials will be able to overturn. And, you know, our assistants uh, gave good advice this time. They got to see it on the video and thought it would be overturned. And so we went with it. And fortunately, we got that one overturned.
Go ahead, Christian.
Hi, Coach Christian, the women's cut. You guys typically are really good rebounders, but this game you guys lost the rebounding battle slightly. Is that something that you're going to look into, and how do you think you're going to shift for the next game to try to dominate those defensive rebounds?
Well, I don't think the rebounding was the big issue. I mean, Minnesota's a good rebounding team, but there's not a lot of rebounds to get when the other team shoots 60% from the field. The problem was before the shot, we gave up too many points in the paint. And on top of that, I give Minnesota a lot of credit. Even when we did play good defense, they hit a lot of tough contested twos on top of it. So uh, the combination of giving up the easy shots, plus they showed good shot making on the tough shots. They just had an outstanding offensive performance, and we weren't able to keep up.
Okay. Thank you for your time, Coach. We'll be back with the players.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
No, I said, hey, to half of my people before we like, no, I'm yapping them gums.
Go ahead, Wilton.
Hey Nas, hey Alicia. Obviously not the outcome that you wanted in this game, but I wanted to ask this question. It could be for either one of you all. Um, 18 turnovers, 33 points for Minnesota was, and Coach kind of talked about this, being that it was the ball screen defense in certain situations. Was it so much that Minnesota was just that good in the play of Olivia Miles, or were there just some disconnects on you guys' parts from what you guys were doing on defense, or the lack thereof?
It's okay. I think that yeah, we definitely had some breakdowns in what we wanted to do in the ball screen defense. But also giving credit to Minnesota, they did a really good job of getting downhill and finding the open people. We just needed to make it harder, whether it was like more ball pressure, more help side. I think that was something that we ended up correcting at the end of last game and didn't necessarily get to that point this game.
Absolutely. And one quick follow-up, and I asked Coach this as well. Obviously, you never want to lose a game, but you lose a game like this early in the season. You use that as fuel, as momentum to go into the next game. How big is this loss right now that could really be beneficial for you guys as you kind of go throughout the rest of the season? Because, and I say that because Atlanta's obviously a team that's one of the best in the league, and you guys aren't going to catch anybody by surprise. So, how much is this game could be like almost like a measuring stick for you guys going throughout the rest of the season?
Yeah, we take every game, whether it's a win or a loss, and really try to learn from it. Obviously, sometimes it feels like you're learning more from your losses, but I think the wins you can learn just as much. So we're just really going to take this game and how we would take any game and figure out how we can be better offensively and defensively. I know we've been talking about defense, but we need to be better offensively as well. So just like turning the page, but also taking those things of how can we flip it and apply it to the next game? Even though the next game, the team might be a little bit different, but there's definitely going to be some things that we learned tonight that we're going to have to apply throughout the rest of the season.
Go ahead, Emmanuel.
Yeah, Leash. What was the thing about Minnesota's defense that seemed to give a little bit trouble? They like to extend, they like to pack the paint. What was the mostly about their defense tonight that seemed to work for them?
I think for us, we was just stagnant. We know they're heavy nail help, and I feel like tonight, like we were stagnant watching one player instead of just like relieving a player. It was just a lot of standing tonight.
And Naz, you talked about a little bit about the points in the paint. They had 52. What was it more of? Was it the ball screen that contributed that a lot, or was it just overall just what they were able to do inside?
I think it was definitely the ball screens. They didn't have anyone, posting up a ton, but they were getting downhill, whether it was the guard coming off of it or the post player. There was a stretch there, I think maybe in the third, where like Natasha Howard was just, bucket after bucket. So that was just like, how do we make those adjustments, figuring that out? But it was definitely off of a lot of their ball screens.
Go ahead, Doug.
Yeah, you've rallied 4 times this year to win games. Was there how much does that take out of you, first off, mentally and physically? And was there any concern that at some point falling behind like this was going to catch up to you in a game?
Yeah, I think you don't ever want to get down early. And like you said, there's definitely something that we've continued to do in games, and we've talked about how we need to be better early. I mean, it does take a lot out of you because you're having to claw back and you feel like you have to make sure that every possession is perfect. But we don't want to be in those situations. Like, it may feel like a good comeback win at the end of it, but it's just like when you're doing what you're supposed to do from the beginning of the game and you don't have to, fight and claw and all of those things, like it makes the game a little bit easier. And we're definitely trying to get to that point where we're the team that is putting teams away early, and not having to fight back for the win. So today that hurt us.
And we'll finish up with Ernest. Ernest, go ahead.
Um, Lee's here, one of the most consistent players on the team. I want to know, how do you help keep the confidence high after a tough loss?
You just on to the next game. We go back tomorrow, look at film, look at our mistakes, and then we fix them, and then get ready for Portland.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.